Hi guys! So today I have another tag video for you. I'm going to be doing the Eyeshadow Junkie Tag. So it looks like there are just 10 questions, so it should be a pretty short video unless I have lots to ramble about. So let's just get started. So the first question is, what is your favorite drugstore line of eyeshadows? If this is not the first one of my videos that you watched, you may have noticed that I pretty much tend to stick to higher end makeup in terms of eyeshadow. I mostly have Urban Decay with a little bit of Too Faced, and that's pretty much it for eyeshadow. However, as long as cream eyeshadows count, I'm going to have to go with the Maybelline Color Tattoos. I really love those. I think I have about three or four, which is more than any other drugstore eyeshadow that I own. They're just really easy to use, they last a really long time, and they have a really great color selection. I'd be kind of interested in getting some of the more colorful ones. Most of the ones I have are pretty neutral, but those would definitely be my favorite drugstore eyeshadows. Question number 2, what is your favorite eyeshadow primer? So this is pretty obvious because I really only ever use one eyeshadow primer. So my favorite eyeshadow primer is actually from Essence. I think it costs about $3 or $4 here in Canada, and is the I Love Stage eyeshadow primer. I think you can get Essence at Ulta in the States, and here in Canada they definitely have it at Shoppers Drug Mart, if not anywhere else. So yeah, I would definitely check that out if you're looking for a cheap but really effective eyeshadow primer. Question number 3, first ever eyeshadow purchase, and do you still use it? So if we go with the first eyeshadow that was purchased for me but not by me, then my first eyeshadow purchase would have been some brandless or nameless brand that I've never heard of, and I don't know the name of anymore. It wasn't on any of the packaging that I can recall. But it was this little makeup kit that came in a purple see-through glitter like lunchbox thing, like it looked like a lunchbox. And inside it had a couple of eyeshadow duos. One was purple and one was green. Some weird color lipsticks. I think there was a dark blue, a light blue, and I think it was red. I think it was red, dark blue, and light blue. And a couple of glitter gels, a pink and a green, and maybe some nail polishes. So yeah, it was a pretty shady little kit, but it was really fun to play around with. The thing that I did use the most in the kit was the eyeshadows, and that was kind of how I started learning about eyeshadows. So yeah, those were my first eyeshadows, and I don't use them because at this point they would be getting close on like 20 years old, at least 15 years old. I'm not sure anybody should be using 15-year-old eyeshadows. Question number 4, what is the best drugstore eyeshadow dupe? Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of drugstore eyeshadows so I'm not really sure about dupes for anything. Yeah, I'm sorry. Question number 5, most underrated. What do you hear about the least but love? This includes singles and palettes. Most of what I use tends to be pretty well loved on the internet. I don't think I have a lot of stuff that isn't really loved on the internet. I only have one, but I do think that they're a line that I would really like to look into more, are those NYX sort of, I can't remember the name of them. I'll leave the name down here and a picture of the product up here. But I have one in sort of a pinky champagne color that I got from the London Drugs event. If you want to see me talk about that in a video, I'll leave a link to that down below as well. I think they're the Prismatic shadows, and they're just really metallic, really beautiful colors, and the one I have is just champagne, so it's not the most interesting, but they do have like a really beautiful like mermaidy teal color, and they're really buttery and really pigmented, and I would like to try out more of those. So I don't think I've really heard anyone talk about those, so I'm going to say for now that those are the most underrated. Favorite single eyeshadow. I'm going to be a little bit cliche here, and I'm going to go with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Badge the Bronze. It is just a really beautiful color, whether you want to use it as like a base for other colors, or if you want to use it as a single eyeshadow and like pack it on really heavily on the lids and then sort of smoke it out with a brush or with your finger, or you could put it lightly on the lid and put it heavily in the crease, and it could be a really good single eyeshadow look, if that makes any sense what I just said there. There's a reason that color is so beloved on the internet. Yeah, it's worth checking out. I feel like I'm just going to keep going on and on, but this question number 7 is your favorite cream eyeshadow. Obviously, since I've been going on about them as my favorite eyeshadows from the drugstore, the Maybelline Color Tattoos are going to be my favorite cream eyeshadows. Question number 8, favorite neutral eyeshadow. So if I had to choose one, I would probably choose Naked 2. It's just a really good sort of neutral color for my skin tone. I really like that. It's just a few shades deeper, and it's really great for like transitioning or for a really, really neutral eyeshadow look, sort of everyday no makeup type look. It's really great in the crease for me. If I can have a whole palette, then I would choose my Naked Basics palette for sure. And question number 9, your favorite colored eyeshadow. So as long as colors aren't something like gold, because if it was gold, I would have to choose like Half Baked. But if we're going for like a color, then I might actually choose this sort of teal color that I'm wearing right now. Sorry if it's wearing off in the crease. I've been wearing it for hours now. But this teal color is really, really beautiful. It's called Freeze, and it's out of the Urban Decay Vice 3 palette. So it might not be easy to get your hands on right now if you don't have the Vice 3 palette. But it is super gorgeous. And I think actually the NYX Prismatic shadow that I was talking about, the Mermaid D one that I mentioned, I was thinking it might actually be a similar color to this. So yeah, I really like the sort of mermaidy teal colors, if that makes any sense. One more question. So question number 10 is, what is the best eyeshadow palette ever? And this question, by the way, on the blog post I'm reading is in all caps. Like I'm yelling it with like 3 exclamation points and a question mark. So I better be really excited about this eyeshadow palette. So the best eyeshadow palette ever. Oh God. So I'm going to go kind of between 2. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick, but I'm going to try and talk through this, and maybe I'll be able to choose by the time I'm done. So the 2 I'm thinking, out of all of the eyeshadow palettes that I own, are the Urban Decay Naked 1 and the Urban Decay Smoky. And my reason for the Naked 1 is just that I feel like there's quite a bit of diversity in that palette. It does have the smoky sort of black and the gray, and you can get a really good gunmetal, dark, smoky eye, and I really, really love that type of smoky eye. It looks really, really great. I feel like it looks really good on my eyes in particular, and my skin tone. It also has more of the pinky shades down at the end. It's got some really great neutrals in Naked and Buck, I believe. Really great crease transition blending colors. Sin and Virgin are really beautiful highlights or lid colors, whatever you want to do. And then it's got the beautiful golds and bronzes with Half Baked and Smog, and Sidecar is a really beautiful color, though it's a little bit chunky. And yeah, that's just a really beautiful, really versatile palette in my opinion. Naked Smoky then is similar in some ways. I think it has more useful mattes. It's got that great cream color, a deep brown. It's got great transition colors. It's got some really beautiful shimmers as well. It has its own beautiful gold, bronze, and some really great glittery metallic-y colors. You can do some really good everyday eye looks with that one, but it is obviously geared towards more of a smoky look. So maybe I wouldn't go towards that one. It's a beautiful, beautiful palette, and I love it. Obviously, I picked it as like my second favorite, but I do think that for my best palette ever, I'm going to go with the Urban Decay Naked 1 palette. It is like my first love. It's my first real high-end makeup palette, and I still absolutely love it. So that was the Eyeshadow Junkie Tag. I hope that you enjoyed it. Maybe you found out some new products, although I talked about the color tattoos a lot. Let me know if you tried out any of the products that I mentioned, whether you love them or hate them. And I'm not going to tag anyone for this video, but let me know down below if you do this video, and I will check out your video as well. Or feel free to do it as a blog post as well. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to see more from me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys! But today I wanted to talk about some products that I know I will repurchase in the future. Not all of these I've used up. Some of them I have already repurchased, and I'm on my second, third, fourth, and some of them are my first. But they're all products that I absolutely love.